AmericaView is a nationally organized, university-based, and state-implemented program that focuses on Earth observation and remote sensing through applied research, education, outreach, workforce development, and technology transfer. We work across 41 different states across the United States, and each one of our states are called state views. And each one of those state views has an opportunity to focus on local issues, address educational needs, and identify different types of opportunities where we can use remote sensing and Earth observation to address local issues and support education. So our partnership with USGS is pretty unique. AmericaView is the steward of a grant program that is competitively awarded by USGS called the Remote Sensing State Grant Program. Over the time that we've been working with USGS, we've also had the opportunity to make other partners, work with other organizations such as NASA, conduct other outreach activities. We've been able to not just support USGS in their current use of Landsat data, but in future applications and how it might be used. We've been able to do resource assessments and gathering information to help USGS and NASA plan their future Landsat missions.
Earth observations are so important because our environment is constantly changing. Any type of career that students may end up going into is going to be impacted by environmental change. If they're going into urban planning or forestry or agriculture or coastal studies, studying hurricanes or the impacts of earthquakes, they're going to understand what's happened after an event, what happened in the past, so that they can look at how a hurricane 20 years ago had an impact over 20 years. And so we're using Landsat, the satellite imagery, because it goes back 50 years. So they can monitor change over time and learn what the impacts are and help to predict what's going to happen in the future.
AmericaView engages students across the gamut, from undergrad through grad in the universities that are part of our StateView system. Our undergraduates are involved in learning about remote sensing, applying it to projects, and then taking it into research perhaps. Our graduate students are also engaged in education and outreach, and they're involved in using remote sensing to perform their research, but then also to create products to train other people. We've had students who've developed training videos in technology like Google Earth Engine. We've had people, developing teaching materials, running workshops to help train kids in lower grades, but also teachers and members of the public.
My research involves outreach, particularly focusing on embellishing K-12 geography education in New Mexico using GIS and citizen science. I've had an amazing experience with AmericaView. It's given me a lot of opportunities to grow professionally. I found that I really enjoy the outreach work and sharing information about Earth observation education and Earth observation technology.
My research is utilizing computational chemistry approach to better understand the optical, chemical, and physical properties of aqueous organic aerosols in the atmosphere and their implications for climate change. Throughout my college career, I've always been passionate about GIS and remote sensing, and along with AmericaView and my StateView program, LouisianaView, it has helped me expand that knowledge into different sensor applications. So we are looking for new ways to incorporate remote sensing technologies into the actual school systems and curriculums.
Landsat is going to be the longest running remote sensing program in existence. And like a colleague of mine says, Landsat is really the world's only legitimate time machine, because we've had a Landsat satellite up in the sky doing the job for 51 years now, since 1972. And being able to look at every spot on the planet on an ongoing basis for 51 years and counting is going to give us this huge amount of data that we can go see everything that's happening around the Earth and look at those kinds of changes.
The relationship between United States Geological Survey and AmericaView is very beneficial because we have the opportunity to reach across the entire nation, looking at many different applications of Earth observation and remote sensing, and really focusing on that use, not just in the applied research side of things, but certainly in education and outreach to our communities. And working on the state level to identify state needs is something that maybe a federal agency can't do as easily, but we have connections and in-state consortiums.
Well, with this state-based approach that AmericaView has, we can go and do this kind of engagement at the state level and be able to go and engage the teachers that are going to be teaching the next generation, in essence, training the trainers about all of this, and then they'll be bringing that information back into the classroom and getting their students engaged on this new cutting-edge field that's going to be growing across the country and across the world.
When we talk about the AmericaView partnerships, all of the different state views are developing things that are issues in their states for teachers to use, but we can share it. You know, there aren't ice storms in Texas, but we can get something from Minnesota View. And there aren't hurricanes in Washington State, but teachers have to teach about it anyway, so we can share all of our resources among all of the AmericaView partners.
AmericaView is helping our students understand how they can make a change from the local scale that scales up to the state that potentially could impact something on a national or even global scale, that making a difference in taking this technology that they've learned, the data that they're using, to be able to affect change, often working in a very local environment, but understanding how they fit in the bigger picture.
Ultimately, AmericaView is creating partnerships and opportunities to empower Earth observation and train the next generation of remote sensing scientists and educators.